Hi, beautiful people. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. It's been a minute since I've spoken about with other Crystal Ball, aka Katie Joy. Well, there's a lot going on there because it seems as though she has once again gone too far and pissed off the wrong person. She was served yet again with another cease and desist and is asking her followers for donations to fight this person who sent her a cease and desist. Why do you need donations from your followers for a cease and desist? Someone who proudly has announced that she has made millions on YouTube.
I'm telling her that my channel's grossed millions. That's true. This is my channel, Bree. My channel has grossed millions in revenue. This is coming from experience. I did show her my revenue. So if she wants to show you my revenue, you guys can see it. But it is a couple million. Actually, I actually have intentionally scaled back on my videos because of the taxes I was paying and the toll it was taking on me. That's true. When you make a lot of money, you have to pay a lot of taxes and there's a lot of stress.
Disclaimer, this video is not about the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni lawsuit. This is about Without a Crystal Ball, who once again was served with the cease and desist because of a pattern of problematic behavior, and she must really have legitimately said something defamatory as specified in the cease and desist for her to have been served. Let's discuss. If you are not aware, Without a Crystal Ball is fully invested in covering the Justin Baldoni / Blake Lively lawsuit. On Friday, Without a Crystal Ball made a nearly hour-long video proudly expressing how she has been served with the cease and desist. And as you can see at the bottom of her post, she adds, "I'm famous." That is something she has been trying to accomplish for years, as being famous. But unfortunately, the only thing she has become famous for is always being sued, which she feels is a badge of honor. According to a post that she made that reads as follows, "They called me the Blair Witch Project in this one. Then they tagged literal accounts that stalk and harass me. Laughing emoji. I cannot. They are suing me. I have full support of my team, which isn't going away. When you fair game, you don't sue knowing the countersuits are real." For the record, they repeatedly reference a lawsuit that I won. The case was dismissed. In court, I won when the case was dismissed. The other lawsuits have gone nowhere and will go nowhere. Getting sued is like a badge of honor at this point. We will get into that further on in this video. Also, as you can see, this screenshot was from Balls 2.0, who I will have her Instagram handle in the description box. If you want to catch up with everything that's going on right now, I highly suggest you go and give her a follow on Instagram. Now, without further ado, this is her talking about when she got her cease and desist.
Hi, besties. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. I'm a little bit early this morning, but I got a present in the mail via FedEx this morning. It's a letter from the attorneys of Stephanie Jones asking me to remove a video about her because apparently I am defaming her because I stated that Tom Brady has chosen to end his relationship with JonesWorks and that JonesWorks has next to no clients because longtime clients have seen what Miss Jones has been doing to Justin and Jen Abel and ended their relationships with JonesWorks. That was what was heard. That was the allegation. You state that Stephanie is responsible for smearing Blake Lively, betraying her former employee, Jennifer Abel. This claim is demonstrably false. You state that JonesWorks' lawsuit against Miss Abel has enabled Stephanie Jones to destroy her competition and retaliate against her employee. Well, I think the allegation in that came from a lawsuit by Wayfair, but you know what? I'll explain all of that to you in a second because we're going to just review the response that Wayfair had to their motion to dismiss because Wayfair is actually suing Stephanie, and so is Jen Abel. You described Miss Jones as so cutthroat that she would lie for anyone, backstab, and commit perjury. I think cutthroat might be, I don't know, isn't that like an opinion? Each and every one of these statements is false and defamatory. Miss Jones and JonesWorks have attained their high level of success because they consistently act with the utmost integrity, and their recent litigation was initiated for the reasons clearly set forth in the complaint against Miss Abel and others. Okay, so Stephanie Jones acts with integrity, and she's a great businesswoman. Okay, and my intent here is making these statements apparently, which is only the latest in my pattern. Oh, okay, I have a pattern of defaming and harassing people online, and it's to damage her business. And it's consistent with my well-documented pattern that has resulted in numerous lawsuits against me. And apparently because 2 of my cases settled, that means that these matters are telling and reflect the indefensibility of your statements. Okay, so my lawsuits that settled actually settled without any monetary exchange and no defamation was found in either case. That was the settlement. Tati Westbrook's attorney actually went public and said that no no defamatory statements were made by me. That's what they said. And my other lawsuit that settled was the same thing. No money, no liability. It was literally just a mutual. We're going to withdraw these cases because you didn't defame us. Okay. And I'm going to remove that video. And I must cease and desist from any further false statements regarding Jones or Jones Works. Okay. So apparently I have numerous blatant, flagrant, false, and defamatory statements. I guess she says that Tom Brady is still her client.
Katie Joy sounds arrogant, condescending, and maybe a little bit snarky when reading the cease and desist. Maybe she is trying to play it off as if she is not that bothered. But listening to her trying to explain herself or plead her case, or lack thereof, to the courts of public opinion, it seems as though she is really bothered and she is trying to get her followers/supporters riled up and trying to gain sympathy because she, in my opinion, knows that she probably messed up. Katie Joy has a habit of stating things as fact and also claims that she verifies stuff. And also, she stated in regards to Tom Brady that was an allegation. Allegations cannot be reported as fact. And she probably did exactly that. Like many previous stories she was reporting on that led her to be sued. And that is why, without hesitation, she is willing and, as she said, took down that video. Under that video, Katie Joy did pin this comment. I have exclusive tea and it's served up salty and warm from my favorite attorney, Kristen Taylor. Stephanie Jones is demanding that I cease and desist or else I'll be sued because she says my reporting is ruining her business. So let's talk about it. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Feel free to help the channel by sending us super thanks. Love you, Katie Joy. So as you can see, the post was edited. So what was there prior, you may ask? This was the comment that was there, and it was her asking for donations to help fight Stephanie Jones. Why would you need donations from your supporters when, as you have heard and seen, Katie Joy stating how she has made millions on YouTube and her followers come to her for the story? They don't ask her to fabricate the story. So why is it any of their responsibility to donate and help her out from somebody that's served her with the cease and desist, when all she has to do is just abide by the cease and desist? But also, I think I know why she's asking for donations, which I will explain to you in just a little bit. This attorney is absolutely correct, in my opinion, in stating, and I quote, "Your plain intent in making these statements, which are only the latest in your pattern of defamatory and harassing online videos about Miss Jones and Jonesworks, was to damage our client's business and reputation. This is consistent with your well-documented pattern and practice, which has resulted in numerous lawsuits against you, including Robertson, 7M Films, Tati Westbrook, James Westbrook, Halo Beauty, and Todd Chrisley. The swift settlement of many of these matters are telling and reflect the indefensibility of your statements." End quote. Katie Joy goes on to say that no defamation was found in either case, and she's referring to Tati Westbrook and Todd Chrisley. Now, we the public do not know that to be fact because in both cases she settled, and obviously there are settlement agreements that we are not privy to, and without a crystal ball is not the most truthful person. And also, she didn't seem to stick to the settlement agreement with one of the parties. But first, Tati's lawyer did not go public with any statements saying that no defamatory statements were made by her. Maybe I just overlooked it, I didn't see it, and I totally missed it. What she did do was read this statement on her channel after she settled with Tati.
I'm so happy to announce that a settlement has been reached as to all of the claims between myself and Tati and James Westbrook. I'm not at liberty to tell or discuss any terms of the settlement. So through talking with one another in the mediation, I was able to share with the Westbrooks that as part of my defense, some of the certain statements that I had made that they had found to be disparaging had actually come from various sources. In the mediation, I also learned that I learned information from them that actually led me to believe that several of these sources had manipulated me into publishing disparaging statements about the Westbrooks for their own purposes and to otherwise cause harm to the Westbrooks. Because of this, I have since deleted these statements from my social media platforms, and I've removed all the videos related to this matter as well. As the Westbrooks recognized that I had been manipulated and weaponized by some of these sources, the Westbrooks and their representatives have also withdrawn their statements that they've made about me. Starting over a year ago, one of these sources in particular had repeatedly contacted me totally unsolicited and provided me over the course of several months with disparaging information about the Westbrooks and their various businesses. It's now my opinion that this person contacted me for the purpose of feeding me and manipulating me into publishing disparaging statements about the Westbrooks to cause them harm. This source then sued the Westbrooks and asked me to break the story about his lawsuit. This source is the Westbrooks business partner in Halo Beauty, Clark Swanson. As a result of having the ability to speak with the other side and to better develop an understanding of what has happened, I have agreed to provide whatever information and physical evidence I have to the Westbrooks about my communications with the sources that provided me with such disparaging information and to cooperate in the Westbrooks' efforts to address some of the damage caused by the dissemination of such disparaging information. As there is ongoing litigation in other matters, none of the parties involved in our matter will be discussing or answering any questions about our lawsuit or its settlement. Thank you so much for your support over the last several months and for your understanding. I really look forward to putting this all behind me.
Long story short, without a crystal ball, aka Katie Joy gave up a source, who was Clark Swanson, Tati's business partner, and claimed she was manipulated by him. As you can see, she was reading from a script that was signed off and okayed by the Westbrooks legal side. Now, let's rewind a bit. Without a crystal ball was going after, disparaging, and reporting on Tati Westbrook well before the business partner contacted Katie Joy. She was working and writing a blog for a company called Pethouse, and during that time, Tati had served her with 4 cease and desist, which she totally ignored them all. And she was let go from Pethouse, that they even scrubbed their entire site of any of her work, basically of her existence. Then Tati's business partner comes into the picture. He had previously contacted quite a few other content creators to do his dirty work, and they all turned him down. Only Without a Crystal Ball was the one that took the bait, and she started releasing inside info, and that is when she was sued by Tati Westbrook. Tati sued in the state of Washington. The case was dismissed due to jurisdiction, and that is why Katie Joy claims she won the case. When Katie Joy found out that Tati was going to come to Minnesota to sue her, these posts were made to her Twitter. With regard to the dispute with the Westbrooks, the parties have entered into discussion to resolve this dispute without incurring the substantial costs and delay of further litigation. To that end, they have agreed to toll applicable statutes of limitation to permit these discussions to continue without prejudicing either party's rights. During these discussions, the parties will not be making public comments or answering any questions related to the dispute. As you saw from Katie Joy's video, they settled, and it is in my opinion that Katie Joy settled knowing that Tati would outspend her. But she also at one point claimed that Tati didn't file in Minnesota because she was going to counter-sue her. Without a Crystal Ball lost a lot of money because she was paying an attorney in Minnesota. Then she had to hire an attorney in Washington state. There was so much shenanigans going on with this case. From Katie Joy going after the opposing counsel, threatening to have him disbarred, to going after attorneys talking about her case on YouTube. Without a Crystal Ball's followers were getting involved and doing illegal stuff that the FBI had to be involved. to Katie Joy herself doing shady shit. She lost her second channel, but she, and it is no surprise, still uses that channel now and again for other stuff when she doesn't want it involved with her main channel. And at the end of the day, Tati ended up getting everything she wanted and needed, including without a crystal ball being a witness for her against her business partner. If you would like to know all about the details of what went down in this case, I will leave a link to a playlist if you would like to know all the ins and outs of that lawsuit. Now we move on to the next case that she claims she won. And this lawsuit involved, without a crystal ball, and Todd Chrisley. He filed a lawsuit against her in April of 2021. He sued her because, in my opinion, she involved herself in his family's business. Katie Joy claimed that she was best friends with his eldest daughter, Lindsay Chrisley, and Katie Joy started reporting about the Chrisleys' legal issues, and Katie Joy felt that she needed to protect her friend, Lindsay Chrisley, from her own father, Todd Chrisley. She even went to the lengths of going to the FBI and reporting Todd Chrisley to the FBI for witness intimidation. And one day she made a video stating that a crew member reached out to her after Lindsay Chrisley made an appearance on the Dr. Phil show to talk about her family issues. And she said that crew member that she verified worked as a crew member that was filming for the Chrisley Knows Best show. And this crew member told her that everything Lindsay Chrisley said on the Dr. Phil show was the truth. And allegedly, no such crew member even contacted her or even existed. Without a crystal ball accused Todd Chrisley of being 100% gay.
So, Todd Chrisley is 100% gay.
She accused Lindsay's stepbrother Chase of blackmailing his sister Lindsay. She also accused Todd of harassing her, defaming her. If you guys want an in-depth video, let me know. So, as I said, Todd sued her and they settled. And this is what she posted after they settled. Without a Crystal Ball settles lawsuit for Todd Chrisley. My company, Without a Crystal Ball, and I have reached a settlement in our lawsuits with Todd Chrisley, settling all parties' claims. No liability was admitted by either side or adjudicated. As a result of that settlement, I will not be speaking publicly about Mr. Chrisley, his companies, or his family. Mr. Chrisley has agreed to the same terms with regard to me, my company, and my family. Thank you. Todd Chrisley also made a statement to which he said, I've been getting questions about my litigation with Katie Joy. All I'll say is that we've reached a settlement that I'm extremely, and as you can see, all uppercase with extremely happy with. As part of that, neither of us will publicly discussing the other or the other's family going forward. Not at all. I'm glad to be able to put this out of my mind for good and won't be discussing the matter further. Did Todd Chrisley abide by the settlement? Absolutely. Did Katie Joy? Absolutely not. I don't even think Todd Chrisley made it to Pensacola, where he had to report to serve his time, when Katie Joy made this post. Welcome to the newest resident to Florida, staying for 12 years. Today is a good day to celebrate the end of nightmare. P.S. I was right. Bullseye emoji. Katie Joy continued to post and talk about Todd, thinking that she was in the clear, that he was going to be behind bars for the next 12 years. And she could do and say whatever she wanted about him or his family, and there would be no repercussions. To her dismay, it was announced that Todd and Julie Chrisley received a full pardon, and Without a Crystal Ball sprung into action, and she made these posts. I have seen the news that Trump intends to pardon Todd and Julie Chrisley because I have no say in what Trump does, and I can't control the outcome. I'm not going to comment other than to say this is a decision by the president that I do not agree with in any capacity. And I'm sure the U.S. attorneys and victims of the Chrisleys would agree with me. He also goes on to say, Todd and Julie Chrisley were indicted in 2019 under the Department of Justice led by Donald Trump. His administration charged the Chrisleys. Their trial was in 2022 under the Biden administration, but it was Trump's DOJ that brought the charges to begin with. This one was the best for me. Finally, while I appreciate many of you reaching out about their pardon, asking me, a victim of Todd Chrisley's malicious attacks and smear campaign, to further report on the situation or answer questions is pretty insensitive. That man accused me of child abuse and recommended people report me to authorities. He intimidated and threatened me for 3 years. His release gives me great anxiety and causes me fear for my safety. I call bullshit that she is fearing for her life. She knows she fucked up and she could face consequences for her breaching a settlement agreement with Todd Chrisley. And remember I said I think I may know why she's asking for donations. It couldn't have been for Stephanie Jones's cease and desist. It is probably for if or maybe when Todd Chrisley holds her accountable for breaching their settlement agreement. Only time will tell. If you want to see all the times that Without a Crystal Ball disparaged Todd Chrisley and breached a settlement agreement by discussing the lawsuit, I'm going to leave a link to another YouTube channel, Southern Mutton, who did an amazing job at documenting all the times, including the dirty deleted posts. She did an amazing job of all the times that Without a Crystal Ball spoke about Todd Chrisley. I do have a live where she was on another content creator's channel and she could not stop talking about Todd Chrisley, talking about him like she was the ultimate victim. She does not realize that she is breaching her settlement agreement. That live is way too long. I will have to put it in another video. If you guys are interested in seeing it, just let me know. But you see, there is a method to Without a Crystal Ball's madness. When she starts covering a different story or trying to infiltrate a new community, she busts out her badge of honor and discusses her defamation lawsuits and claims she won, trying to make herself credible. And the latest incidents that I remember, like it was yesterday, was when she was on TikTok and she had just turned on Gypsy and the Blanchards. And this is what she had to say.
Now, there was a person that did this. His name was Todd Chrisley. So he was under federal investigation and he made very unique steps, and this was all part of his trial, where he didn't have his name on anything. It was all in his wife's name or his mom's name. And so just putting someone else's name on it doesn't mean it's not yours. And it didn't work out very well for him. He was sentenced to 12 and a half years. So another thing that reminds me very similarly of Todd Chrisley and Gypsy is that Todd brazenly bragged on his show and on interviews to paying taxes that he never paid, and making a ton of money, despite the fact that that money was actually money he stole from banks. Okay, so I'm not worried about a settlement agreement that I had with Todd Chrisley 2+ years ago because Todd's in prison and Todd's got no money to sue me. And nothing I'm saying is remotely as bad as what has already been said about him. So I'm not going to spend my time and waste my time worrying about a settlement agreement because Todd can't pay the $17+ million that he owes to the federal government. You think he's going to sue me? Literally?
Todd Chrisley, if you ever see this, are you going to sue Without a Crystal Ball for breaching her settlement agreement with you? Because as we know of now, Stephanie Jones is willing to sue Without a Crystal Ball. Without a Crystal Ball is in an active defamation lawsuit with Robert Shinn. So how many lawsuits does one need to be involved in to finally realize that their actions are doing more harm than good? Finally accepting that all they do is YouTube. All they are is a YouTuber, not a reporter, not a journalist, not even an independent journalist. Giving your opinions is one thing, but involving yourself with the story, trying to infiltrate the story, love bombing the victims' families in order to get the story. And it is in my opinion that Katie Joy has once again infiltrated a family involved in a huge story. And the victims of Without a Crystal Ball this time is Justin Baldoni's parents. And I say that because she made this post wishing Justin Baldoni's parents a happy anniversary. This is a pattern for Katie Joy. When she started covering Teen Mom, she became close and even fought over Amber Portwood's boyfriend at the time. I cannot even remember his name, but I'm sure somebody in the comments will remind me. He actually wore glasses. She fought with another creator that he was her friend first because she was getting the inside scoop, the behind the scenes info about Amber Portwood and Teen Mom. She did the same thing with Amy Duggar King. Amy Duggar's mom had to tell Amy to please contact Without a Crystal Ball because she was getting tired of Katie Joy bothering her, for Amy to get in touch with her. And eventually they became besties until shit hit the fan and Amy used to give Without a Crystal Ball her inside info, allegedly, about the Duggars. Then she befriended Christine Brown's aunt. She allegedly gave her inside info about the sister wives. She became close with Lindsay Chrisley, and she gave Without a Crystal Ball inside info about Todd Chrisley and his whole situation and their family dynamic, allegedly. She went after and befriended Miranda Derrick's parents, and she also posted pictures wishing them happy anniversary or happy birthday, getting the inside info about Miranda, allegedly. She befriended Lydia, the ex of Robert Shin, got the inside info about Robert Shin and the court documents when Lydia actually sued Robert Shin. She befriended Lydia, and then when she got what she needed from Lydia, she dumped her, allegedly. She befriended Christy Blanchard and got all the inside information about Gypsy Rose. Things went sour, they dumped her. And in turn, as you heard, now she is comparing Todd Chrisley to Gypsy Rose, which is wild. It's a pattern for Katie Joy. She will find a way to infiltrate the family of whichever story she's covering, and it seems as though she has infiltrated Justin Baldoni's parents and probably love bombed them, because I remember doing a video about a month ago, and this is what Katie Joy had to say when she reached out to a source on the Baldoni side.
My final moment here is that I've had a chance to connect with a couple people connected to Baldoni. And I don't want to say who I've talked to or what was said in its entirety, but I wanted to make sure that, one, I'd never made contact with anyone related to him, connected to him at all. I just wanted to make sure that everyone's doing okay. And I asked how everyone's doing. And I was told that it's been an absolutely devastating experience. It's been horrible, beyond comprehension for his family, his friends, his extended family, and his business. His entire life is completely shattered, literally and figuratively. And they did not know about this lawsuit. I asked. They were shocked when they found out, but they weren't surprised. They weren't surprised because they knew that they had done something to obtain those records. They had already had experience with how dirty these people play, that it's become the norm for them. It's almost like it's disheartening and it breaks their hearts that this is what happened. But at the same point, it's become so normalized. It's become just a part of every day with them that, oh, okay, so this is what they did. But it sounds like having to deal with Blake and with Ryan and with these people, it's like walking on eggshells or landmines and never knowing what was going to happen. Like it being that hostile. At least that's how it was in the words that were spoken to me. So I did let them know that everyone is thinking good thoughts, sending well wishes, hoping, and if there are people that are praying for them, and that at the end of the day, everyone is fighting for truth and everyone's fighting for transparency, and every person just wants justice for Justin and for his staff and for his wife and for Jamie and Jamie's wife and all the women involved in this case, Jen and Melissa and Jen Wallace. And they appreciated the support. They're paying attention. They appreciate the support because it's felt very hopeless for them. So at least in that way, I guess we're doing a little bit to help, but they certainly weren't feeding me any information for a smear machine. They basically just confirmed what I had already found online, which was that there was no smear machine.
Katie Joy finds a way to get the most vulnerable people of the story to open up to her. Marvon McRae, she got his biological mother in her claws. And then when Marvon McRae's mother stopped adhering to her way. She dragged her to filth. The little girl Sophie Long, she also got her mother in her claws. Stephen Twitch Boss, she got his immediate family, his mum. This is a pattern for Katie Joy. She will love bomb a person, make them feel like she has their best interest at heart. She made a promise to Miranda Derrick's mum that she will return Miranda Derrick to them. If you don't know that story, go look it up. You'll find it. It all ends up with Katie Joy's best interest at heart. It's not about the injustice or the justice. It's about Katie Joy wanting to be the head bitch in charge. It's about the money and her getting the fame and notoriety. Look at this post she made. Stephanie Jones demands I cease and desist 1 month after I exposed Blake Lively's sham lawsuit. At Hot Mics with Billy Bush. Check your DMs. We need to talk. She just made a video telling her audience and reading the cease and desist she received. Then she makes a post broadcasting that she will not give up and she will continue doing what she is doing. She goes on to make another post, this time trying to rile up the attorney, and as you can see, she states, Kristen Teller signed the legal threat to me. Here she is accusing Jen Abel of breach of contract. Again, at Hot Mics with Billy Bush, check your DMs, we need to talk. And then you have her trying to be funny, sarcastic, just a dumbass. She says, I got Stephanie Jones' attorney's autograph. She's very truly mine. To which she states, I can't believe I got an autograph from an attorney that is so masterful at gaslighting her court filings. The damn nerve. Riling up the attorney the same way she did in a lawsuit with Tati when Without a Crystal Ball started getting pushback during the 7M story. She went on a platform and started instructing people to start speaking up, to start using their voices. She was needing support. She was needing the heat to get taken off of her because she was being sued. Now she gets this cease and desist from Stephanie Jones' attorney, and she made this post. Speak up for Justin Baldoni. Speak up for Jen Abel, Melissa Nathan, Steve Sarowitz, Jed Wallace, and Jamie Heath too. Without a Crystal Ball thinks she is invincible. She is above everything and everybody. She is a terrible person in my opinion. I have had my own experiences with her, and I know the lengths she will go to get the heat off of herself. The lengths she would go to get a story and want to be the go-to for the information on that story. She falsely accused an innocent person of doing illegal stuff. She sat with the FBI and blamed this innocent person of wrongdoing to get someone to stop causing her issues. She compromised her own family and their well-being for attention and fame, in my opinion, to get a documentary done, missing deadlines on a defamation lawsuit that could cost her millions if she loses. She admits herself that she could not have done that documentary, but instead of hearing from me, listen to her saying it herself.
I would not have been able to do this project without Wilmer Valderrama's production company and his executive producer, Jessica.
With winding down this video, I couldn't believe this, but also I'm not shocked because this is who Without a Crystal Ball is. I know that these two attorneys and also another that's behind the scenes named Eric was very helpful to Without a Crystal Ball when she first started reporting on this case. And now she is speaking ill about them. Again, these are attorneys, legal attorneys, qualified attorneys, not wannabes like Katie Joy. They put in the work. They are qualified attorneys. She made this post. I no longer support or endorse the content by the channel Ask Two Lawyers. Any lawyer that thinks it's brilliant lawyering to file a fake lawsuit in order to illegally obtain phone records of a private citizen is not a law firm I can respect or recommend. Lawyers are bound by a duty of ethics, and endorsing illegal conduct is where I tap out. I'm Team Truth and Team Justice. Lawyers that praise unethical lawyers and enable celebrities to abuse and invade the privacy of private citizens are scum. The fucking nerve. Keith and Stewart are obsessed with Ezra Hudson. Nothing she has done in this case is worthy of praise. Period. Go fuck yourself, Katie Joy. You are a nobody. These are qualified attorneys. They know what they're talking about. You don't. Now finally, with ending this video, Katie Joy decided to go on this Reddit. And it was a whole episode where Katie Joy was going off on some person named Leanne. That's a whole separate story. To which Without a Crystal Ball says, I don't have a troubled history. That's not accurate. I was sued by 3 narcissists. One is in prison. That's not true. She's referring to Todd Chrisley. He is out. One is a cult leader. She's talking about Robert Schiff. That is suing her, and that lawsuit is still ongoing. And the other one was dismissed. Who she's talking about the case being dismissed is Tati. I have nothing to apologize for. The infiltration of bots and supporters of a cult leader suing me. They are also supporters of Blake. I don't believe I'm the most popular, and I don't have a big head. No, you actually have a humongous head. I'm not even close to the most popular, and I have never cared about that. That's the only thing you care about, Katie Joy, is the fame and the popularity. These people always deflect their crap on me. Katie Joy is a terrible person. The shit that she gets away with is ridiculous. But all good times come to an end. What will Todd Chrisley do now that he is out of prison? And when he does find out how she has breached the settlement agreement, is Katie Joy's source Justin Baldoni's parents? If that is true, I would suggest that Justin Baldoni get his claws into his parents and get them away from Without a Crystal Ball. And one last thing. Do you know, out of everybody that is covering this Baldoni Library lawsuit, Without a Crystal Ball is the only one that has been served a cease and desist. Isn't that interesting? So you guys, that's what we have now. If you guys do want an in-depth on the Tati lawsuit or what happened with Without a Crystal Ball and Todd Chrisley, let me know. It can be done. But also, if you just search it on YouTube, you'll definitely find it. Let me know your thoughts about all of this. I know this is a long video. There was so much to go over. There's still so much more to go over. And I don't think it's very appropriate the way she is riling up Stephanie Jones' attorney. The least she can do is have respect for all attorneys, because at the end of the day, she is shit. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please don't forget to go and check out Balls 2.0 on Instagram. Southern Mutton's video. I promise you guys, it is absolutely amazing. Balls will keep you up to date on everything that Without a Crystal Ball does. I will also link Ask Two Lawyers YouTube channel down in the description box if you are wanting to catch up with the Baldoni Lively lawsuit. They do a fantastic job, and I highly suggest you go and watch their content. With all that said, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another, and don't forget, make good memories. Bye guys.